Difficulties on the head of it, but Amiibo Jason's a technical genius and he solved it rapid fire style.
I think you guys might have actually been muted from us during the first 15 seconds too, so hopefully now you can hear us. So my whole introduction was totally muted.
Oh, well.
Yeah, but whatever. It's Jason. It's TJ. We're here with another episode of Smash Switch Speculation. So hopefully now you guys can hear us. You can hear everything that's going on. And we finally get to talk all about Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. We have a name for it.
Did you know that's actually my favorite thing to talk about?
The name?
Smash Switch Ultimate. Just Smash.
Just the idea that we have a name for it is insane. This is something that neither of us predicted, oddly enough. I mean, we did episodes of Smash Switch Speculation all about pretty much any character that could come back, but we always said that either some characters are getting cut. In fact, I think at some point during this show, each of us had said that there is no way that a particular character is going to come back. We've said it about Pichu.
If there was one character that I thought was not coming back, it was Pichu. But while I definitely thought there would be some characters left on the cutting room floor, because that's the precedent, there always has been some characters cut from one game to the next.
Yeah.
With the exception of the original to Melee, I think. It's also not that surprising that they decided to go the route.
Oh, I'm shocked.
There.
I'm totally shocked. Oh, yeah, 100% shocked. I would think that, number one, like with the Wii U version, they teased characters forever.
True.
So, yeah, maybe all characters would come back. I assumed it would be DLC. Nintendo is in a brand new era right now. We have a new president. We have a new president incoming on top of the new president, which is crazy to think about. They're in this brand new era of we need to bring in money. And that's not a bad thing. That's how you run a business. I would imagine that most of those characters would have been DLC. Snake would have been DLC. Everybody would have picked it up. So the fact that they're putting all of the characters that we know and love for free into this game.
Well, for the price of admission.
For $60. You look at any other fighting game, like, let's go Street Fighter 4, for instance, when that came out. I think they're on 5 now.
5 would be the example of how not to do it.
The roster was so small.
Yeah.
And then they just spoon-fed you for $5 a pop. And they weren't even, like, new, innovative characters. They were just just basic Street Fighter characters that were cut from the roster. So the fact that Nintendo and Sakurai were in a position to say, you know what, $60, you get everybody plus the Inklings. Oh, yeah, and Ridley. Like, that blows my mind. But I still firmly believe that Nintendo is going to have a boatload of DLC for this game.
Yeah, for years, I think.
But what could that be?
Well, one of the obvious ones is an ARMS representative. I think that's the best way to breathe life into, or actually to re-engage audiences. I think the only ARMS was a big hit. It sold over 1 million copies, but not too many people talk about it. It's fallen out of the conversation. It's a game that, it's a joke, but the game doesn't have legs.
I see what you did there. I see what you did there.
But not only would a character, I want to play an ARMS character in Smash more than I want to play an ARMS character in ARMS.
Oh, that's kind of sad.
I think that their fighting style would lend itself really cool to a 2D platform style fighter, and it's obvious to imagine how these characters could be integrated into the game. They would instantaneously be one of, I think, 3 characters in the game that are actual fighting game characters. Yeah. And so their moveset is already pretty much obvious. And I think they would have a really fun way to be able to imagine how they could play in the game. But maybe that's what Nintendo needs to kind of push people more into that ARMS game.
I don't know about that. I mean, I'm not saying that's crazy at all. I think ARMS has a very niche audience, and I don't know if a Smash like representative, like bringing a Smash representative into it, is going to make it any better. But who knows? I think what ARMS needed to succeed, they should have thrown in like a Nintendo character, like somebody that you know.
If Little Mac was in ARMS, I would have bought it. That's all it would have taken.
Maybe DLC.
Put Little Mac in ARMS. Give him like those mechanical extending gloves that are those gag things where you pull the trigger and it shoots out a punching
like
glove.
The Joker had.
Yeah. Give those to Little Mac. Put him in ARMS. I'll buy it tomorrow.
Do it.
I'll buy it tomorrow. I just want Little Mac in the game. Then he'll be the only character I ever play as.
Yeah. Well, today we're gonna be a little bit more organized than we have in the past. We're gonna try to have like segments that we talk about particular things in Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, like this whole conversation. The first thing, and let's go through everything we're going to talk about. Number one, we have to talk about E3. So we're going to talk about our experience at E3. We played the game pretty much right away, and the excitement from the announcements. We'll talk about that. We'll talk about the game itself, all the characters. We're going to talk about the Amiibo as well.
Yeah.
And then at the end, we're going to speculate at what we're going to see next, because we're going to see something. They're gonna like drip feed news throughout the entire time, leading up to the launch.
They
of this game.
already are. There's the daily blog, so they're dropping 2 or 3 little tidbits about the game every single day, and it's really fun. I don't know about you guys, but I mean, I've got my nose to the grindstone on it. I follow every last little piece of text they drop about the game.
So let's start with E3 in general. So we both went. This was our 3rd year going together?
Yeah, I think it was my 5th or 6th, but my 3rd Nintendo Wire E3.
Yeah, so I've gone 4 years in a row now. We've gone 3 years together. You technically were at the last one. Were you in costume?
The first 2 times that I went to E3, I was there as a model to help kind of promote some of the games that were being premiered at that particular E3.
You were like in some sort of like ancient Roman outfit, I thought at one point.
Oh, this last E3?
Yeah.
Okay, well, you know that Assassin's Creed Odyssey? Well, when you first walk into E3, they had this photo op where the way they set it up is the sky is on the ground, and there's a mirror above you, and the camera's above you. So it looks like, let's say you're dressed as Spider-Man, it looks like you're on the side of a wall. Well, on day 2, they made it like a sky. So it looks like you're a Spartan in midair doing some kind of epic pose. And I happened to run into one of my sword fighting friends at E3, and I was like, hey, man, and we've played Spartans together in other projects, sword fighting. So I was like, hey, man, this is a perfect opportunity. Let's get pictures together. And we go up to the lady doing the pictures, and I'm like, is it okay if we take our shirts off?
Oh my God.
And she's like, I don't care. I'm like, is it okay if we take our pants off? She goes, I don't care. So we stripped down in the middle of E3. We've got our little togas and our little skirts, and we posed for our pictures, and then promptly put our clothes back on before we got arrested. But it was fun. It was a cool little experience.
E3 was insane this year, only for the fact that, number one, we knew Smash Info was coming.
Yeah.
We didn't know in what capacity it was coming. It was definitely more than I expected.
Really?
To give you guys an idea of my day, we had the Nintendo Wire team. Almost all of us went to LA for this event. So we rented out an office space. We had everything set up. We were reporting on the event. And for some reason, I had my own laptop in front of me because I was in charge of Twitter and our live blog. And for some reason, my stream was like 10 seconds ahead of everybody else's.
Ooh.
So I was like reacting to news before anybody had the opportunity.
That's cool.
My team was very upset with me because I was going like, "Oh my God!" And they're like, "Jason, what? Shut up. We don't want to know.
Stop spoiling us, Jason Ganos."
So I kind of
Calamity Ganos.
Yeah, it sucked. I really wanted to celebrate and like say, "Oh my God, it's everybody," but my team would have killed me.
Ah, yes.
But yeah, for the most part, I had no idea we would see a 20+ minute presentation.
I kind of assumed it would be long because 2 years ago, we had nothing but Breath of the Wild.
Yeah.
Last year, we had nothing but Mario Odyssey. And because they haven't been teasing any other games, I figured it would be Smash heavy.
So the E3 presentation last year, we had Metroid Prime 4, we had Yoshi, we had a new Kirby. It was jam-packed with stuff. I'm going to be honest, and this might be really controversial of an opinion. I was disappointed with the Direct.
I think most people share that opinion. Unless you're a big Smash fan, I think that was most people's walk
away. I am a big Smash fan, but we got no information about Bayonetta 3.
True.
No Animal Crossing.
Nothing.
Which, Animal Crossing was a long shot. I'll give you that. We had absolutely no information about Yoshi, pretty much any upcoming game.
No Pikmin, which has been done since 2014 or 15.
Yeah. I think the hardest part for me was no Metroid Prime 4 and no Bayonetta 3.
Well, where I'm at with it, we know that they're coming, and until Nintendo actually has something substantial to show me, I don't want to see anymore. At some point, I got fatigued from Breath of the Wild teases. Like, they kept stringing me along with Breath of the Wild for years. And by the time the game actually came, like, I was kind of exhausted with the media cycle on it. So I kind of like this thing of, yes, it's coming. Yeah. So relax, you'll get it. And when we have more to show you, we'll show you. And E3, while it is a huge audience and everybody turns up, all eyes in the gaming sphere are centered into one place at one time. So it's definitely a time where you want to put your best foot forward and you want to showcase what you have. Nintendo is not in the same position as the other companies because they do mini E3s throughout the entire year. So we're going to see like 8 more of these throughout 2018. Well, maybe not this year, but...
Sony's doing a better job with that, but Sony's press conference was a disaster. Like, that was by far, I think, the worst press conference I watched.
Would it surprise you to know I didn't even see it?
You missed very little.
Okay.
The Last of Us 2 looks great, but we're not a PlayStation podcast, so I'm not going to talk about that, sadly. It's a great game, though. But I was shocked by just the pure amount of information that we got. So right after the event, I ended up being able to play the game. I had an appointment to play the game at 10:30 a.m. So pretty much right when the doors opened.
Smash, yeah. It was how we started our day. It was great.
So we walked into the center. We walked straight up. We pretty much played, and that was it.
Yeah, it was like we watched the Direct, then we walked to the show, then we played the game. Like within a very short span of time. It was actually the coolest E3 experience I've had so far.
I'm pulling out my badge here because they actually gave us, I'll see if I can get this on the camera here, everybody that played got this Smash Brothers button, which is really cool. This really neat pin. Nice medal.
Yeah,
I'm pretty happy about that. But what was your first experience playing it?
Of course, I wanted to play as Link because Link was my first main from the original game when you only had the roster of 12 characters to choose from. And then he stayed my main in Melee, although I did go between Link and Young Link. Then by the time Brawl rolled around, I was just full-on Link all the way. Toon Link sometimes.
Yeah.
And then when we got to be in Smash 4, I had the option to be able to play as myself, and that's the one hero that I would rather play as than Link.
You're the only person I know that mained a Mii fighter.
I know.
Which I think is great. You said, like, and this is a huge compliment to you, I think you created this whole group of people that got excited about playing as their Miis.
Guys, everyone out there who, as soon as Miis were announced, I received, like, this deluge of messages of people congratulating me, like cheering for me, because they knew how important it was to me. And it means so much to me that when people heard Miis were announced, they thought of me. Like, that is the most flattering and heartwarming thing that happened all throughout E3. For the whole 3 days, people kept leaving me messages and comments being like, yay, Mii fighters are back!
Well, they wanted to make sure Mii v Mii 4 happened.
I'm so happy about it. And they look fantastic. They look amazing. We could not play the Miis at the demo, which wouldn't have had much significance anyway because it wouldn't have really been us. It would have just been generic fighters. So, of course, I went for Breath of the Wild Link because I wanted to see what was different about that one versus the other one. And the first thing I was met with was...
no hookshot?
That wasn't my first problem. My first problem was I had to retrain my brain to figure out how this controller worked for the characters because I forgot that I've been playing Smash Brothers for 20 years with a customized controller scheme. Yeah. So I press what buttons I pressed. I've never used a controller that wasn't configured to me. They even let you put in your own profile. So I just automatically started doing stuff assuming it was going to work how I wanted. So I spent my whole first match as Breath of the Wild Link just trying to figure out what buttons did what. And the Pro Controller is a substitute for the GameCube controller.
You gotta stop.
I'm sorry. And they had it mapped kind of strangely. Like, who maps the grab to L? Usually the grab is on the right side. So it took me kind of a while to figure out that Breath of the Wild Link does not, in fact, have a hook shot. And it took me a little while to figure out how the remote bomb actually worked. It adds a third input. So you first have to pull out the bomb, then you have to throw the bomb, and then you detonate the bomb as a third option. So for me, somebody who does not really have very refined skills, I have a broad sense of Smash skills, I think Breath of the Wild Link's a little bit of a downgrade, at least for my playstyle. It moves him farther away from what I like. His grab is now close range, no hook shot. So I think I might go back to maining Young Link, who's probably the closest to what I think. We didn't get to play him at the demo either, but based on his moveset and what we've seen, I think he's probably closer to Link from Wii U.
Is the hook shot gone for everybody, do you think?
No, I'm pretty sure that the other two have it. I think Toon Link and Young Link probably still have it, even though Breath of the Wild Link now has a more traditional Mario-style grab, actually. Just
well, I've heard that the hook shot, some people claim it to be overpowered.
I liked that it had range, and I liked that it could grab on the ledge as an extra recovery, so that's not an option for him anymore at this point.
Oh, well. My first character was Ridley. Because it had to be.
Yeah.
I had to go with Ridley right off the bat. I had no idea what I was doing with him. He is big. He's clunky.
I think they made him as big as they possibly could make him.
He's big without being, like, gigantic, which is
still seems pretty gigantic. Because he's hunched over.
Yeah.
And one of his taunts, he stands straight up. And he's twice the size of the other fighters. So he's pretty huge.
So he breathes fire, which is great. He has this really interesting down smash that kind of makes this earthquake type thing. But he's great. I love Ridley so far. I'm not sure if he's going to be my main. I have no clue. But he's fun to play as. So I played as Ridley right after I played as an Inkling. The Inkling is almost exactly how you would imagine. It's kind of nice. I think the Inklings are on the screen right now, too.
You've done that like 5 times now. You're talking about Animal Crossing.
Yeah, it works out. Village. It's like I have it planned.
Yes, this is all part of Jason's master design.
So the Inklings are interesting in the fact that you actually have to replenish your ink. So you have to shoot ink down on the ground. You have to then go down into the ink, just like Splatoon, and then get it up that way. That was the most complicated thing for me because I couldn't get the buttons system down for it.
Yeah.
So the person actually had to explain to me how to do it. But I think overall, people that like Splatoon, it's a really interesting way to have that kind of combat.
I really appreciate that the more characters we get into this, the more nuanced differences some of these characters have. Like Little Mac has his power-up meter, Cloud has his limit gauge, the Inkling has to replenish ink. So we're moving farther away from just completely interchangeable button mashing, even though that's how you could still play that way, which is what makes Smash so accessible. Is you got one button as your attack and one button as your special attack. You hold the control stick in different directions and it does different things. That's you say that to anybody and they can come in and have fun with the game. But once you start getting a little bit higher level of gaming, you can take advantage of some of these unique components that different characters have. And I think Inkling's gonna be a big fan favorite.
Oh yeah, for sure. And you can tell a lot of this game is designed around the competitive scene.
Yeah.
It's going to be massive. And the fact that Nintendo opened up this game with, we're going to have this tournament, we're going to bring the best Smash players in the world to it, they're going to be having this major dedication to esports with Smash, which I'm incredibly excited about.
Yeah, I love that they did that, by the way. I think that's an awesome way to lend the game instantaneous credibility by putting it in the hands of the people who literally play this game for a living. They're the people who are more invested in this game than anyone because it actually has a direct impact on their bottom line and on their profession.
Yeah.
So for them to come in and play it and have fun and be able to immediately go back to their base of fans and talk about the game and some of the differences that they notice right out of the gate, that's really cool. And I really appreciated being able to not only see it at the highest level of play on the first day, but then also to get the impression of the people who play this game. It's the fastest way, I think, to point out some of the differences between the other game and this one, things that you might not notice in your first playthrough.
No, I'm a casual Smash player.
Here.
I like whatever.
I'm so casual.
That's BS.
90% of my playing is the Amiibo. The Amiibo do most of the work.
You are a pro in comparison to me.
I don't know.
We'll just say it that way.
You won in our match.
I did win, but you even said you were getting your bearings.
That's true.
I was with Ridley and button mashing.
If I would have had the proper and only way to play the game, the GameCube controller, I might have given you more of a run.
I was kind of shocked. Apparently, the GameCube controller was at the VIP lounge.
Yeah.
And for some reason, we weren't graced with the beauty of the GameCube
because
controller.
we did pick. There were two different ways that you can play the game. You could play it competitively, where you actually went through a mini tournament and you had to go through, I think, 3 rounds.
Oh yeah, they had it there.
Then you won a medal. Those people had the option of playing on the GameCube controller. So I heard.
Yeah.
We chose for fun. Because,
sadly,
like we said, we're casual, and we just wanted to have a good time with it, test out
until
the
I found out they had medals they were giving away.
Yeah, I would have never won it.
I wouldn't either, but just the option of trying to win it. I have a Nintendo coin collection. I have almost every commemorative Nintendo coin over the past 10 years, and I kind of consider that to be one of them.
I'll bet you can buy one off eBay.
I know, but it doesn't feel right. But I'm going to do that.
That's an achievement.
I get buying something?
Yes.
Yeah, I guess so. But overall, our experience with the game, playing it in person, was great.
Yeah.
Not as great as our next topic, which I'm gonna jump over. I'm gonna switch scenes here. I'm hoping it doesn't cut anything off. Nope, not that one. That one.
Yes,
there it
nice.
is. They did announce Amiibo. And this is the part that shocked me.
Yeah, me too.
They didn't announce Amiibo during the Direct. It was
they kind of did.
It was right after the Direct.
It was like a 1 cent. Well, they didn't showcase the Amiibo, but they did say during the Direct, and all the Amiibo that you already have work just the same.
But no new Amiibo were announced during the Direct. So, like I do, the Direct was over. I'm like, I'm taking a quick $5.
Yeah.
I go out into the lobby. I get a cup of coffee. I come in, and my team is like looking at me.
Yeah.
Like, did you see? I'm like, did I see what? And on the screen, Inkling and Ridley Amiibo. And let me tell you guys, and you know I'm an absolutely manic Amiibo collector. These Amiibo have come so far in comparison to where we were during the first wave of Super Smash Bros. That I am just so excited to start collecting again. And it opens up the door for so many different things. So they announced that Inkling Girl, Ridley, and Daisy are getting Amiibo. We didn't see Daisy, but they announced Daisy was coming. So we already have a Daisy Amiibo in the Super Mario line. And it's not like it's hard to get. If I go to Walmart, they have like 5 Waluigis and a wall of Daisies.
Yeah.
And that's it. But the fact they're making one for Daisy, even though one's already there, makes me think we are either going to see, I think bare minimum, we're going to see Amiibo for every single fighter that doesn't currently have an Amiibo.
That's
so if you want Snake or Ice
Core. That is a for sure. I would stake my reputation on the fact that every character that does not have an Amiibo that is in Smash will certainly get one.
The fact that they said Amiibo are like functioning in this game, it would make no sense for them not to. So you should get a Snake, Ice Climbers, Wolf, Pokemon Trainer, Pichu.
Now, Pokemon Trainer is an interesting one because we already have Charizard, and Charizard is going to work differently in this game. So I can't wait to see what shape that Amiibo will take.
But I thought Charizard is just part of Pokemon Trainer.
He is now. So what's going to happen when you scan that Charizard?
I'm guessing it's going to be Pokemon Trainer.
I would guess too.
But I would imagine we're going to see just the Pokemon Trainer on there and no
too.
Pokemon, and that makes the most sense to me. So we should wait. What does his trophy look like?
Because the key art does have all 3 Pokemon.
But there's 2 pieces of key art.
Oh.
Yeah, there's 2 pieces of key art because I pulled all of the images, and they have one where it's just him, and one where it's him surrounded by everybody else.
I think it's got to be the one with just him, because him surrounded by the Pokemon, as amazing as that would be, it would be like an ultra Amiibo.
What if they went... Okay, here, this is crazy talk.
I love crazy talk.
Thank you. I'm glad you do. Let's see. Can I pull this off the shelf without it falling down? All right.
Let's see.
All right.
Oh yeah, I love where you're going with this. I hope this happens.
Let's say they went Mr. Game & Watch route, where by default there is a Pokemon Trainer in the middle of the base, and on the back there's a little thing where you could slide in either a Charizard, a Squirtle, or a Wartortle. No, a Squirtle or a Ivysaur. So that's my thought.
Yeah.
I think that would be amazing if they went that route.
And if not, and you just get the Pokemon Trainer, customizers around the world unite will bring this thing about.
Oh, I'm sure. I mean, the fact that Gondokris... Can you grab that one with a 3 on it? Gondokris made me this amazing Pokemon Sun and Moon custom Amiibo with all 3 Alolan starters on it. And the fact that it fits on a standard Amiibo base makes me think they can do anything they want.
Yeah, totally.
They could go the Detective Pikachu route.
I hope not.
Yeah, it needs to be uniform.
I like uniformity.
So, But the fact that we should be getting at least those Amiibo bare minimum is making me incredibly happy. What my thought process is that we should, and at least maybe this is just me being optimistic, we should get everything.
I think so too.
A brand new Amiibo for every single fighter in their brand new poses, especially that amazing Luigi pose.
Luigi is hands down the best pose out of all the new characters, and it needs to be commemorated in Amiibo form so it can be permanently memorialized for all Nintendo fans the world over.
Hey, you can keep talking because I need to find
now a lot of
that
people
picture.
Are Nintendo. What they did confirm is that all the original Amiibo are going to be compatible with the game. So what that indicates to me, at least, is that there has to be some sort of solution for people who didn't buy those Amiibo that have been released and no longer even available on the shelves over a period of years. They need to present some way for new fans who have not purchased Amiibos in the past to have a way to have their favorite character in the game. And I can't think of a better way to do it than, since they've already confirmed that they will be producing new Amiibo in the line, than to produce all of the Amiibo again. It might seem like an epic journey that people aren't prepared to go on, and I know lots of wallets are going to be crying. I definitely think that that's what they're going to do. Look at that Luigi.
I was afraid it was going to crash my system. For some reason, my computer is like on the verge of death right now. I love how my hair is just sticking like straight up right now too.
It's glorious.
I was going to do my hair, but then I was like in this position where like we're going to be super late. So you get what you get. It is what it is. But
this is raw, uncut Amiibo Jason right
absolutely now. Is. But Luigi's new Luigi's new pose would lend itself to Amiibo in the best form possible.
Totally.
And let's see. I'm going to see if I can find the other Luigi Amiibo. Smash. Oh, yes, I can. So if you put these bad boys together, this is going to demonetize our stream right here. Come on. Oh, they're all like blocked. Save images. Luigi Amiibo. There we go.
This is all Jason's been thinking and talking about.
I mean, if you put these bad boys together, you got the makings of a beautiful, beautiful set of Amiibo. Don't you?
Yes.
Isn't that great?
It is.
It's like they were meant to go together. Somebody needs to take a nice screenshot of that before I decide to take it down. I feel like I'm just going to move him over here.
Oh, nice. Cover up the handsome me over there.
Yeah, I'm going to cover you up, and then I'll move him over here.
Jason.
All right. That's enough of that. But imagine the poses we could potentially get. And I'm incredibly excited to see.
I can't believe how much time you just stuck goofing around with those different Luigi poses.
I'm sorry.
What I really love about the Luigi pose and all of the other ones is they seem like they have so much personality.
Yeah.
And Luigi, what really distinguishes him from Mario, for me, is... or the first time I really noticed it, other than his different play mechanics like that higher jump and stuff like that, was Luigi's Mansion, where we got to have some idea of Luigi as the front man.
Yeah.
And he is a little bit more afraid, but yet still quite capable.
Yeah.
So this Amiibo kind of gives me that sense where he's going to go in this game, he's going to fight people, but that doesn't mean he's not still a little bit timid about it.
I mean, he's a clown, and that's the best thing about Luigi. And that's why he's not a, what do they call them? Not Alpha Fighters. What are the ones that are...
Echo Fighters.
Echo Fighters. I was close.
You're very close.
I was on the military path
I gotta
there.
say, I love that they've created the Echo distinction.
Yeah.
Because I think it helps people understand that the characters that are Echo Fighters are not taking up a character slot that some other character could have gotten. There was this big misconception with Smash for Wii U that, oh, why'd we have to get Lucina and Dark Pit and Dr. Mario? They just take up spaces that we could have gotten another fighter that we really wanted. But what Sakurai was saying is, no, they were characters that I was only able to make because they were built on the foundation of another character.
Yeah, I mean, the amount of time it takes to produce one... Do you remember when Mewtwo was announced?
Yeah.
And they're like, just so you know, it's going to take us like 6 months to get this bad boy ready for Smash. So I would much rather
have... And Mewtwo was a character they'd already made.
Oh, yeah.
So this wasn't even totally from scratch.
I would much rather have Echo than nothing at all.
Yeah, me too. And
I mean, Daisy...
We pretty much nailed that on the head. That was exactly what we predicted for Smash
Yeah,
speculation
not
episode.
only predicted, but wanted.
Yeah.
Like, we don't need a Daisy with her own custom moveset.
Right.
I mean, we did talk about the potential of having, like, a Daisy who would have a horse and a tennis racket and a golf club, and that would be interesting, but I feel like that's more assist trophy territory. Mm-hmm. That's like what Waluigi does.
And she does have the golf club, because Peach did. She does have all the sports referencing moves, but by building her off of the base of Peach, which she essentially is kind of in all of the games that she's in anyway, and then giving her special moves a unique Daisy flair, that's perfect. What more could you ask for?
That's true. So from an Amiibo standpoint, before we move on to anything else, what are you hoping we see from Amiibo? Like, in a perfect world, are you hoping that we see an Amiibo for every character? Are you hoping for any additional Amiibo modes? I mean, now that we know that the figures are here to stay, which I know was our biggest, concern.
I was really so curious to see in what capacity they would be involved in the game. And now that we know...
mocked this up, during an episode of Smash Switch Speculation. I don't know if some of you have seen it or not, but we mocked this up of what we thought could happen. And for me, this was not worst case scenario, but almost worst case scenario.
Really?
I wanted figures. I didn't want cards. So I'm thrilled they decided not to go the card route. But now we know that figures are back and I can rest easy.
For me, this answers one of my big questions, and it presents another big question for me. We know the figures are here to stay because they have confirmed as much. We know the figures we already have maintain at least their original functionality, and that's encouraging and exciting to me. We don't know in what ways Amiibo functionality might be expanded.
Yeah.
And we don't know in what ways the Amiibo hype still has life left in it. So I'm really curious. Are we going to see people waiting in line again? Is Nintendo going to do a little bit of a less conservative stock this time? Are they going to flood shelves with Amiibo? Or are they going to kind of sit back and be like, we're not sure if people still care?
I think people still care. So you might know this, but I still run Amiibo News. So Amiibo News, know that. Amiibo News was my baby when I started it. It's still very, very important to me. And we have about 80,000 people on Twitter on Amiibo News. And the second we've been declining for a while because there was no new Amiibo announced. The Smash Amiibo were kind of the lifeblood of the channel. So after Cloudcorn Bayonetta Player 2 came out in Player 1, it was kind of like a downhill kind of thing. The minute that they announced new Smash Amiibo, we started going back up again. And now it's been consistent that we're gaining followers on a daily basis. That's because we're reporting on things people care about. Just today, somebody took a picture. The picture you see on the screen right now, both of those were taken in Paris by... I want to source this guy. So really quick.
While Jason looks that up, I just want to call out Rafael Chico's comment about Hero TJ should be added as a character with Dark TJ as his Echo Fighter.
But he is.
I love that idea.
He already is.
He is.
As a Mii Fighter.
I love it. And the Mii Fighter costumes are so cool. I like how they have the knight's tunic and then some spalders and some knee pads. That looks so sweet.
So it was Octoboy YT. So Octoboy YT was the guy that took these photos in Paris. There's a Smash Bros, some sort of event going on there. So people were incredibly excited about that. I think it was 1,000 likes on that picture, 300, 400 plus retweets on it.
Because unlike the past few E3s, there were not actually any Amiibo on the floor. So, so we did not see them in person.
So the last couple, the last 3 E3s have had an amazing Amiibo display.
Right.
Just gorgeous. Yarn, Yoshi, all the Smash Amiibo, everything that a growing boy needs. And the first thing I did when I got to the E3 show floor, I'm like, where are the Amiibo?
I know.
And they had these amazing display cases with all of these props from Smash.
Cool. All the items from the game, some key character items like Mario's hat and Link's Master Sword, my Master Sword.
And I'm like, yelling at the staff. I'm like, where's the Amiibo? And nobody has the Amiibo. I was incredibly bummed. They did have the display case on the show floor just for the treehouse.
Yeah.
But for some reason, they decided to hide it from us and take it to Paris and show them.
Probably because they knew you were there and you were not to be trusted with Amiibo.
I was incredibly sad. But, again, all I needed to know was Amiibo are coming. There's more Amiibo coming. I'll show you guys this picture next. Octoling Amiibo, I'm a lot less excited about these. Only because this is our third Amiibo 3-pack at this point. And for Splatoon, I'm over it.
You know, what's funny to me about the Splatoon Amiibo is I keep buying them.
Yeah.
And I respect Splatoon, but I'm not a Splatoon player. I don't enjoy the game, and I don't play the game, but yet for some reason I keep feeling compelled to get the Amiibo, and I'm not a completionist. I don't have anywhere near a complete set, but something about them keep making me get them.
Yeah.
And I'm going to get those ones too, probably.
I already pre-ordered them. Am I excited about it? No.
I don't think that's so funny.
So I have, you guys can kind of see my Mario Brothers cabinet back here. I have a Donkey Kong cabinet right next to it. And on top, I have some Amiibo displays. I do have a Splatoon designated area, but I'm running out of room. Let's give you a little bit more real estate.
Oh, thanks.
Oh, you can actually see my Amiibo store display in the background there, too.
Yes, that thing is very cool.
Which we both have one.
Yeah.
Which is amazing.
That is definitely the crown jewel of the Amiibo collection.
Definitely is. Because it's kind of like forbidden contraband. Yeah. It's the forbidden Amiibo contraband.
I love it so much. Mine's on running 24 hours a day.
Is it really?
Oh, yeah. I never turn it off. I love it.
I plug it in if my daughter wants to play with it or something like that. But for the most... I like the neon lights.
Me too.
That's really cool, too. But for the most part, I'm like... The second I became a dad, I'm now very, very aware of, like, electric bills. And I think it's...
You know
I think it's just something that's, like, part of, like,
I actually ran a test on it because I wanted to know how much the draw was. And it did not surprise me, I guess, once I found out. It's like $2 a month. To run it 24 hours a day.
But that's $2, man.
Well, because stores don't want to have expensive displays, so it makes sense they would have found a way to do it economically, because otherwise stores wouldn't want it in there if it's going to be raising their electric bills through the roof.
They tossed these. They flat out tossed them.
I know.
So, fun fact, I'm going to tell you guys a really quick story about a certain Amiibo cabinet. I have a friend who works for Nintendo. I'm not going to say who this person is. He happened to go to a convention.
This isn't one of those uncle stories.
No, this is not.
Playground,
this is not.
Okay.
He happened to go to a convention where somebody was selling one.
Wow.
So he went up to them and he's like, "Where'd you get that?" And the guy's like, "Excuse me?" And he pulls out his Nintendo badge. He's like, "Where did you get that?" And the guy, and he pretty much looks at the guy. He's like, "You're going to have to give that to me." And the guy's like panicking. He's like, "I'm just kidding." He's like, I don't care.
Wow.
He like absolutely terrified this guy. But you know, stores were throwing these things out.
Yeah.
Like we rescued the same thing with my Pokemon Snap Station right here. They back in the day, back in the late 90s, you could go behind a Blockbuster and pick one of these up. Mm-hmm. Nintendo either A, told stores to destroy them, or B, throw them away. So in what my opinion is, I rescued this thing from the dump.
I agree with your opinion on that.
So I will do that all day long. If they have value to somebody, somebody should have them.
If it's not destroyed, like once it's in trash, you've relinquished it from your possession. It's not yours anymore.
Yeah.
In my opinion.
But yeah, I mean, we are living in a brand new Smash Amiibo world. I'm waiting for pre-orders to go live. Amiibo News will let you know the minute these things go up for pre-order, unless it's Greninja, because I will completely miss that one.
Yes.
Because that's what I do. If they do re-release Greninja, I will miss it.
There's a track record there.
Yep. I might actually do it just for, like, the joke of it. I don't think a lot of people know this, but back in the height of the Amiibo days, Greninja was announced as a Toys R Us exclusive, and I assured people I will let you know when it goes live. And they announced it was going to go live, I think it was at like 4 in the morning.
Some ungodly hour.
Central time. So I'm like, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to set my alarm for 2. So I'll have 2 hours to like sit in front of my desk and refresh and let everybody at Amiibo News know that it's up. And for some reason, they released it at like 12:47 a.m. And they sold out in like 30 minutes. And everybody was like, "Thanks a lot, Amiibo News."
I know. I was so surprised how much blame you got as soon as that happened.
I'm really sorry I had to sleep.
Bulbasaur.
I was Bulbasaur. I had to sleep. It was heartbreaking. Not only because I let so many people down in that moment, because I let me down even more. Because I wanted Greninja.
Yeah.
But then Toys R Us pretty much announced that Greninja was going to be super easy to get. So all you had to do is like go to a store.
That's what everyone was saying, and that was not consistent with my experience. Yeah. I happened to be in Chicago. I lived in LA at the time, but I happened to be in Chicago, and I went to the only Toys R Us proximal to where I was.
Yeah.
Completely sold out. They had nothing. They couldn't even cover their pre-orders.
That's crazy.
So because we're 2 hours earlier in Chicago, I phoned my wife in LA, and I said, "Wife, I know you got important work things to do, but you need to stop whatever you're doing drive over to Toys R Us in 2 hours when they open and get me one of these Greninjas. And she was like, I can't believe you had a hard time. There were like 40 of them here.
Yeah.
But
it was
weird.
Toys R Us is dead. Somebody pointed that out in chat. Nerdy Octoling, thank you for ruining my night.
I'm a little sad about that. It's one less avenue of access that we have to Amiibo. And I have to say, at least from my personal experience, once you got around the Jeffrey tax, because you had to pay that extra $1 at Toys R Us, it still was one of the most likely places to be able to find them because they had the most shelf space and generally the largest selection. So with that, I hope that another outlet kind of steps up, and it's probably most likely to be Amazon, but they're not a brick and mortar.
Amazon, so I think Best Buy is the best bet. So Best Buy still has GCU.
I don't know.
Sort of. If you have it, you have it. If you don't, you can't get it anymore.
Mine just expired. I have to call Best Buy out a little bit. Now, some of you guys know, anyone who's been following my content since the Switch came out, I was very unenthusiastic about it. I was glad people liked it, but it just didn't really speak to me. I bought Breath of the Wild on the Wii U, and I played it on that. I play Smash on the Wii U, so I had no reason to get a Switch. I went out and bought a Switch yesterday. So I have a Switch now, and it's all because of Smash. I'm really geared up for this.
Congratulations, by the way. You joined the cult.
I've joined the club. And so I ordered a pair of yellow Joy-Cons from Best Buy.
Highlighter yellow.
Highlighter yellow. And they arrived in the mail yesterday, except they were pink and green.
Which is the superior color.
I already had a pink and green.
That is sad.
So I don't need two sets. But the point is, different SKU numbers. Clearly says in bold letters yellow on my receipt.
Yeah.
Obviously, it's not that big of a deal, but I still want the yellow ones.
Of course you do.
So I take it back to the store because I'm trying to handle this in the most expedient way possible. Yeah. And the girl who helped me, I mean, she was with it. And she was like, okay, obviously I see what's going on here, but you have to understand, the computer here doesn't know how to accept this return because the product you have is not the product you bought, and so the system is not accepting this as a return. I'm like, okay. So
that's
they're like,
just the way it is.
Here's what we're going to have to do. We're going to have to pretend that you're returning yellow Joy-Cons that you don't in fact have so that we can re-buy you yellow Joy-Cons.
Did they have the yellow ones in the store?
No. They like company-wide, she told me that they're out of the store and they only have them online, but their inventory is now totally messed up. And one of the other employee walks over and he goes, oh, this is a mess because now we think we have one fewer yellow than we do, and we actually have one fewer yellow and, pink and green than we do. It got really confusing. But at the end of the day, I'm like, hey, so is it possible that Best Buy warehouse thought that a pink and green would be an acceptable substitute for my yellow order in the event that they don't actually have any yellows in stock? And she goes, oh, God, I hope not.
Oh, yeah,
I don't know what idiot would think that. So we'll see. I'll let you know in 2 weeks when my yellow arrive.
Yellow's the only one I don't have, which is crazy. The fact that you have more Joy-Cons than I do, and you just bought a Switch.
Yeah, here's my strategy. Well, I've been kind of like planning for a while, so I've taken advantage of everyone else's experience and figured out what I like and kind of what I think would work best for my purposes. And I've got a family of 5, and each of us can kind of distinguish our Joy-Cons by having a unique color identifier.
That makes sense. For right now, everything's kind of communal here, except for Happily Candied's pink ones. Those are hers. Not allowed to touch those.
Right. As it should be.
I get taken to the back room, and bad things happen. So, that being said, I'm very proud of you for getting your Switch.
Yeah, we're all very color-coded in my family, and it'll work out.
So before we move on to speculation mode, is there anything else you want to say about Amiibo? And I also see that a lot of people are talking about Happily Candied in chat. Happily Candied, if you'd like to come in and say hi, you definitely can. She is here. She's in the other room. I'm not saying she has to, but I'm calling her out, so I'm going to kind of, like, guilt trip her to come in and say hi. So we'll see what happens. Oh, I hear her.
Oh, the highlight of the show, folks.
Hi, guys.
I love the fact that... Oh, I thought that was a brownie for me.
Well, I was going to offer you my last bite, actually.
No, that's okay.
Okay.
She made brownies.
I did. Somebody ate my last cupcake, so I had to resort to making brownies.
She came all the way out of her sugary little corner of the world just to say hi to you folks.
She's moderating chat right now.
I'm moderating
in the other room.
Chat. Did you see my text?
No.
Oh, okay.
What was it?
So if you check Slack, I have a bunch of talking points that were brought up in chat.
Oh,
Awesome.
cool. Yeah, we can talk about that at the end.
If you want to roll off of what people have been talking about, that might be a good idea.
People are happy you're here.
What?
People are happy you're here.
Oh, well, probably because I've been talking with them in chat.
And she has brownies. If you guys,
And I have brownies.
if you want a brownie, just let us know.
Yeah.
We'll send you one in the
send it
mail,
to you,
express.
yes. I'm having a lot of fun right now hearing what people have to say in response to what you're talking about, though. They have a lot of good points, and they have a lot of good questions, too.
Awesome, thanks.
Yeah.
Happily Candied.
Yeah.
Thanks for stopping
You're
by.
welcome. Okay, I'll let you guys get back to it. Have fun.
This whole show would be derailed without her. Don't underestimate what she's doing behind the scenes.
It's true. Bye, guys.
You know, before we actually move on to speculation mode, I do want to tell you something, too, and this is something that we can kind of talk with Chad about a bit, too.
Sure.
I did find out that starting next week, we can start putting our merch in our YouTube channel. So I'm thinking that we're going to start putting T-shirts down there.
Nice.
We can do one for Smash Switch Speculation.
I know
you can do a bunch of
everybody's
yours.
dying to have their Team Dark TJ Shadow Legion T-shirts.
Of course. I think the
Nobody would buy that.
Oh, they totally would. The Nintendo Newscast is going to get one. If there's any kind of ideas that you guys would like for different shirts, let us know. It's definitely something.
Yeah, we want to
do.
make this thing sustainable. So if there's something that you want that we have the ability to
Yeah.
provide, then let us know.
And now YouTube is doing like paid subscriptions too, that people can pay to subscribe and get like special content, like within YouTube.
You're all special to me.
Yeah, so I'm thinking we could do something like that too. If you guys have any ideas of like any kind of special thing you'd like to see on this channel, we can give you special flair and then access to like maybe a special broadcast once a month or something
cool.
like that. So you and I are going to talk about that a bit after the cameras are
Sounds
stopping.
good. Company meeting.
But yeah, it's going to be fun stuff. But if you guys have any ideas, we do have Happily Candied modding the chat. Let us know what your thoughts are regarding T-shirts, about flair, about any kind of thing we can do to keep this sustainable. Because he has to drive a pretty long way to come here.
We want to keep wheels on this vehicle.
Preferably. All right. The last question was, what is the last thing you have to say about Amiibo before we move on to speculation?
About Amiibo? Well, what I'm hoping we see is more of what we already... I love Amiibo, and I've been really deeply invested in the Amiibo scene, as you guys know from what I've done, but I want to see more of the same. I'd really like to see an expansion of... We know now it's unlikely that there'll be another class, because we already have confirmation on the Sword Fighter, the Brawler, and the Gunner. But what if those Amiibo could hold a whole new host of different custom moves? I think that's highly likely. What if...
And they're easier to get.
Yeah, I know that last time in North America, they were in a 3-pack exclusively.
Yeah.
And so I wound up buying a lot of mine... as imports, because I want a lot of sword fighters, so I can customize specific ones to look how I want.
Did you go to Toys R Us?
I did. And
there were people that had Mii Fighters for days for like $7 for a 3-pack.
Mine did. So I bought a ton of Mii Fighters when I was, and I made the cards too. I made cards of a lot of people.
Yeah.
So I just bought shelves worth of Amiibo.
Well, you weren't doing the irresponsible thing like most people were, and like bootlegging these things.
Well, there's two reasons for that. One, I lack any technical know-how. I'm a creative mind, not a technical mind. So I don't really understand how that kind of thing is achieved. And the other side of it is,
you don't want to get sued?
I like the hands-on. I really don't. To be honest, the legal aspect of it, I don't really fully grasp. But what I do understand is I can buy a product, manipulate the product in any way that I want, and then do whatever I want with that product.
What did you do with all the toys?
I customize them.
Like all of them?
I still have some that I haven't touched yet, but I have designs on.
You have to have like a graveyard of Mii Fighters. You really do. I need to see it.
It's not like... I'll take a picture of you, for you guys. It's not really a graveyard, because I'm quite fastidious about my parts, because... If you need a piece and you don't have access to it, you don't know where it is, that's one of the most frustrating things for me. So I literally have like these caboodles that I bought off of Amazon that are clear, and you can rotate it in any which way. And I probably have hundreds of Mii components, and I probably still have at least 20 intact Mii Fighters that I want to do something with as soon as I have some time to be able to...
It's kind of disturbing, man.
I think of extending their life or giving them new life. And then people see some of the Custom Conquest episodes and they're like, "You're a toy murderer. It's a toy graveyard." I just don't think of it that way.
You make some of the best customs anyway.
They're like, "You're like Sid from Toy Story."
Nah.
I'm like, "No, I take broken things and I make them new again."
He does. You're like that other guy from Toy Story, the old guy with like the suitcase
I'm like the
that
old
fixed
guy
up Woody.
with the suitcase who steals toys from my kids and customizes them. Actually, that has happened a few times.
Well, there's nothing wrong with that. So there you go. Let's move back to a prettier scene here. There we go.
Oh, beautiful.
Back to our Smash video.
Beautiful.
Let's speculate a little bit about this. Waluigi didn't make it, which I'm shocked. I don't think he's going to. I think at this point, the fact that people have harassed Sakurai so much, I think he's done.
Yeah, but how much harassment did he get about Ridley? I think Ridley's got to be the most harassment.
Did you see some of the memes that people sent him?
I saw a lot of Waluigi. He is the meme machine.
So, I can't even say what some of these are.
Yeah.
They were so distasteful.
Are they worse than your Luigi pose that you did earlier?
There was 9/11 memes.
Oh, that's just unfortunate.
These things were so distasteful that even I, a veteran internet user, I saw them and I'm like, my jaw dropped by just how disgusting some of these were. People have gone a little bit too crazy about our boy Waluigi. We did an entire episode about it, and I defended him. I wanted him in Smash. I think he made more sense than Daisy, but Daisy was easier, so it makes sense. Did we want Smash this year, or did we want it in like 2020?
Right, and that was Sakurai's whole justification for building it off of the Wii U base. Is he's like, we can give you everything, and then more if we built it off of the Wii U engine, or we can build this thing from scratch and maybe have less than half the number of characters. And I feel like they made the right choice.
Yeah.
That doesn't mean it's a port. It just means that they were able to shortcut their way to getting a lot of the work done.
Yeah.
And Waluigi would be undoubtedly a build from scratch. There's no character who has an equivalent moveset, and there's no character who has a similar model, whereas Daisy is very similar to Peach.
My theory on this one is he has an assist trophy, so I don't think he can be a fighter.
I would like that if they did introduce him as a fighter, that they removed him as an assist trophy, because I wouldn't like him to be fighting and then him to also appear as an assist trophy.
It's not, the same player the same people can have the same fighter 8 times, though.
True.
Too. So it's not like it would be insane. That being said, though, part of me doesn't want him now, just to see the fanboys freak out.
Now, Waluigi is a character who I do think would have a place in Smash. I think that he would be a fun character to be able to fight with, and he kind of is the only real holdout. Some people would argue Toad as well.
Toad's sort of in it.
But he's sort of in it.
Sort of.
And it looks like he's even kind of sort of expanded. The way that Peach is whipping him around and using him seems like a little bit more than just the Toad shield.
Yeah.
So at least from what we saw in the demonstration. Oops, I'm kicking...
That's okay.
Below the table, I'm kicking all Jason's cords.
Yeah, whatever.
I didn't just disconnect us.
It is what it is.
But Waluigi seems like just that one little missing piece from the Mario characters.
Yeah.
And he's in all the sports games. People like the character. It makes sense to put him in. You hear the argument, there's already too many Mario reps. There's not too many Mario reps. It's their flagship franchise. It's what they do. There should be as many Mario reps as it makes sense to have in the game, as it would be fun to have in the game. I would like Waluigi in there. I'm not going to be sad or cry if he's not, but I think his time will come. I kind of do feel like his time will come. Eventually, he's going to be in there.
Maybe. If the fans can keep it together, I think that's the biggest thing. My speculation is still Sora. Sora's coming.
I think you're Sora mistaken.
Nope, I'm not.
He could be. It's totally possible.
Disney and Nintendo just announced they're doing a TV show together on the Disney Channel.
Are they really?
Yes, they are.
What TV show is it?
Lauren, do you remember the TV show? What it's about? If somebody in chat, if you guys know, they're doing some sort of TV show together. It's going to be on Disney. I have no idea what it is.
What TV show?
The Disney one.
Which one?
The one that they just announced. That they're going to be...
The Switch family...
Yeah, that one.
Contest.
Oh.
So basically, they're going to bring 4 families, because I wrote this article, so I have to know it.
Got it.
Why are you not, sitting in this chair and me go out there?
No, so they're bringing 4 families who enter this contest, and I believe the winner of this contest, they'll fly 4 family members of that family out to anywhere, I believe, through Southwest Airlines.
Yeah.
Anywhere they want. Basically, what they want to do, and I really support this, is they want to bring the idea of Mario Odyssey's adventures to life.
Yeah, that's fun.
So they kind of want to replicate his adventures through real life, and they're going to have people compete in Super Mario Odyssey and, oh gosh.
It's like Nick Arcade.
I don't think there was ARMS, but yeah, there were like about 4 different games that they were going to compete in, and it'll be hosted on Disney DX. The Disney, XD, sorry.
Right.
XD, and then they're on mobile app. They're mobile.
Nice.
Yeah.
So the fact that Disney and Nintendo are just happy together at this point,
it's really nice.
Sora deserves a shot. He really does. I think Sora is one of the major holdouts for Smash.
Do you think
only because
you think he's a major holdout?
He's been around for 13 years as a video game character. He's a lovable character. He's been on Nintendo consoles.
I would still say that,
and he's a fighter.
That I'm trying to blank at the game. What's the Sora's game from? Kingdom Hearts.
Yeah.
Kingdom Hearts is a cult style game. I really don't think it has broad appeal.
Whatever. That's a total lie.
It has a lot of fans, but I think that its time has passed. It's been a very long time since the game has come out. I have kids who've never heard of it.
It's not for kids anymore.
Yeah, so
it is and it isn't though.
It's
not for young kids.
The people who grew up with it, and I'm not saying it's not a bad game. I'm not saying it's a bad game. This isn't a criticism of the Kingdom Hearts series. What I'm saying is its fan base is strong and small. It's not a mainstream title anymore.
I 100% disagree. When I saw the line for Kingdom Hearts at E3, it was longer than anything I've ever seen.
That's preaching to the choir.
I got there the minute it opened. They're like, we are done. Like, for the entire day. That was the one game at E3 I didn't get to play. I was heartbroken that I couldn't play Kingdom Hearts. I think Kingdom Hearts is going to sell either just as well or more than Final Fantasy 15 did.
Probably, because I think it appeals to a similar audience to Final, but it's not like a Mario Odyssey. It's not like a game that has a really broad appeal.
I will give you that. I will give you that.
I wouldn't even put it in the same category as The Legend of Zelda.
Would you put it in the same category as Metal Gear?
To be honest, I don't really know. Probably not.
I've played
to think not.
I've played all the Metal Gear games.
Because I think Metal Gear
5 just recently
appeals to a different type of gamer too. Like, there's certainly some crossover. Yeah. You can play Metal Gear and then also like Kingdom Hearts, but I don't think they necessarily are the same group of people who play those games.
I still think he's a big holdout. I really do. And I think Nintendo and Disney have been getting very comfortable lately. And the fact that Snake, the last time he appeared outside of Smash on a Nintendo console, was all the way back on the GameCube on Twin Snakes, that's saying that it doesn't matter if you've had a game in a while. On a Nintendo console, you're still welcome to the party. And I think Sora fits that mold.
Fantasy Freak 999 points out a good thing. TJ has no clue what he's talking about here. And you might be right. I'm going to account for that possibility. I'm a lifelong gamer. I've been playing video games since I was 5 years old. The Nintendo released when I was a little boy, and I've always been closely tapped into the video game scene. So the fact that Kingdom Hearts has these big highs and then these long dead gaps is something that I have been peripherally aware of.
Yeah.
But I'm so confused by the games. The storyline is about as confounding as I think any video game series that has ever been made. Its system launch order is super confusing, which doesn't help fans for being able to follow it. And again, these aren't criticisms. These are just my own personal observations. So you have a whole new host of video game players that have grown up since the last Kingdom Hearts has already released.
Yeah.
That have never heard of it. They don't know what it is. And they won't know what it is until Kingdom Hearts 3 comes out. And then maybe we'll get some rejuvenation. But this is a really high and low series.
It's very bizarre. Like, I still don't understand a lot of it, which isn't crazy. I've had to watch videos to explain it to me, and I still don't get it.
Yeah, me
but
too.
The gameplay is so solid. It's so, and the story itself. I don't even care about the organization members. I don't care about Heartless. I don't care about Nobodies. What I care about is going into a Disney movie as Sora and beating up bad guys with a sword that looks like a key. It's so flipping satisfying, and that's why I love the series. I understand a majority of the story, but I am not an expert on Kingdom Hearts, and 3 is going to be amazing. It's just going to be outstanding. And I really hope Nintendo and Disney decide to at least merge in some respectful fashion. I think it's either going to be DLC or it's going to be a surprise holdout. That's my opinion on it.
If Cloud is in it, anybody can be in it, but I definitely feel like there's much bigger holes than Sora, like Simon Belmont, who badly needs to get into this game.
I think Bomberman would have been a good choice outside of an assist trophy.
Yeah, I kind of think that might put the kibosh on Bomberman.
Yeah, I think so too.
By putting him as the assist trophy, we are both acknowledging him and at the same time kind of eliminating him from candidacy for a playable character.
Yeah. No more Pokemon. That's all I'm asking for. Just no more Pokemon.
I think we might see one more. I
wouldn't be shocked either.
Because actually, we might even see two more. Because we've got a big Pokemon title coming out next year.
Yeah.
And it seems highly likely that there'll be some sort of tie-in, just like they did with the Fire Emblem with Smash for Wii U. As soon as that new Fire Emblem game dropped, they were like, boom, surprise,
and
Corrin's in the game.
That makes the most sense. It really does.
Use it as an ongoing marketing machine throughout the entire lifespan of the Switch. Anytime you're going to drop a new game, if possible, if you can coincide with a Smash character release or even like a Mii costume or something to help promote that new game, why would you not?
I mean, I think the last thing I'm going to say on like the speculation for the fighters, this is the first time I could say this in a long time. I'm content. I'm happy with what we have. I love Ridley, I love the Inklings, and I love that everybody's back. Do I want to see more fighters? Absolutely. But if this is it, I'm happy.
I'm still a little bit greedy. I'm missing a couple. We still need that Simon Belmont bat. He's the only retro NES holdout from my childhood, so this is obviously a very personal choice for me. And I think that his side-scrolling history is so easy to imagine in a Smash capacity. Using that whip would be unlike anything that the other characters have, and it would be super awesome to be able to play as pretty much every character that I grew up playing.
I mean, I'd love to see King K. Rool at some point. Do I need it? Absolutely not. I think he would be an interesting choice for Smash, at least in some capacity. Besides that, like I said, I'm pretty happy. I'm really content with what we have, and I'm not dumb. Nintendo likes money. There's going to be DLC. There's going to be I think there's going to be a season pass. I think it's going to be 20 or 30 bucks.
To do. Our buddy Ricky Berg is asking about Bandana D, and I would like to turn the question back and say, why would you want a Goomba with a spear and a bandana as a playable fighter in Smash Brothers?
There goes half of our watchers right now. Now we just have to talk crap about Gino, and we'll lose the other half. What was the one from the last episode?
Okay.
Granola?
Granola. There's been a lot of people asking for granola in this one too. I have seen it go up a couple times.
Yeah.
And I've said it last time. I've said it 1,000 times before. Goku is never coming to Smash.
Yeah.
Goku is not. He's not a video game character. He's an anime character who is occasionally featured in video games. We will not see him in Smash ever.
Sans, is it Sans or Sans? I don't even know. I'm just gonna call him Sans. Sans has not earned a place on Smash yet. A lot of people have been asking for Sans. He's been in one game. It's a cult classic. I completely get it.
It's a cult. It's a modern classic.
Yeah. But I mean, I don't even think he earns a spot as an assist trophy, to be honest. I mean, if Nintendo...
I don't think he earns a spot as a trophy. Like, not even an assist trophy, but even a trophy
He's not even on a Nintendo console at this point. He's coming eventually. I have no idea when. It's supposedly sometime in 2018.
Yeah.
And I understand he's a great character. I loved Undertale. I can't wait to get it again on the Switch. However, I just don't feel like he's earned his place yet.
And the reason why I think Sans is highly unlikely is not even just deserving. I think it's because of the production schedule required for a game like Smash. Because you can't just say, hey, this character's popular now, why don't you put him in Smash? You have to plan this. Like, development on this game, Sakurai just revealed, started pretty much like 2 or 3 months after the last game released. So it takes years and years to develop these games and balance these games, and to introduce new characters has so many far-reaching ramifications to all aspects of the game that Sans has not existed for enough time for them to have been able to implement him. Years is sometimes not enough.
I totally agree. Are you ready for questions?
Let's do some questions.
So we have questions that were already in chat. If you want to answer or ask a question as well, we do have some mods in chat. Mods, if you could just let us know the person's name that said the question and put it in general chat in Slack, I will try to answer it. Use the hashtag Nintendo question. Is that too long? It's too long. Just use the hashtag question or hashtag question mark. That's fine. Hashtag question mark. Let's just do it that way. All right, first question. What do you have to say about Echo Fighters? I remember back in Smash 4, people wanted them to burn. Now people are worshiping them, though I'm excited for Daisy.
Well, I think it was a very smart rebranding on the part of Nintendo. Because obviously Echo Fighters are the same as they were in Wii U. And the other thing is the further distinction between... Now we kind of have three different categories. We have characters who are literally clones.
Yeah.
The Koopalings would be a good example, where there's no difference. It's just 100% purely aesthetic. Then you have, like, characters who are obviously built off of the foundation of another character, but are yet... have enough unique separating components. A good example would be Ganondorf and Captain Falcon. Ganondorf is obviously a Captain Falcon clone. He was built off of the Falcon model, but he's made enough distinctions to be uniquely identified as a different character. A more similar example would be Mario and Dr. Mario.
Yeah.
So they're separate characters because they do different moves. Now, an Echo Fighter is somebody who has the exact same base set of moves, but their special moves have some unique balancing aspects. Maybe they have different animation aspects, so there's some aesthetic differences. And by them just being very open and upfront about saying this character only exists because we were able to model them after the base of another character, people are more accepting of it, where there's no delusion about the fact that potentially they could have had Geno if they didn't decide to put Lucina.
Nintendo is saving face, which is important that they did this. They didn't have to call them Echo Fighters. They haven't in the past. They don't want their fan base saying, it's just a clone. Yeah. Why are you doing this? It's just a clone. It's just a reskin. It's important. It's a very important distinction that Nintendo is upfront letting people know that this is more or less a clone.
I think it was totally smart. And it opens the door to potentially more characters being introduced into the game.
Yeah.
I can't off the top of my head think of another one, but I'll bet before all is said and done, we're going to see a few more Echo Fighters.
I think so too. I don't know what they're going to be. I'm looking up at my Amiibo shelf right now because that's the best way for me to kind of gear.
I mean, you guys might correct me on this because I'll be the first to admit I'm not very well versed in the Xenoblade universe, but could we see a Rex as an Echo Fighter of Shulk? I don't know. Like, how similar are their movesets? Shulk was just added into Xenoblade Chronicles 2, which I think is awesome because it keeps him relevant throughout this new Smash cycle.
I feel like they could. I think like some of the more obvious ones would be like a Shadow Mewtwo, either like a completely maybe a Dark Ryu, something like that. I know.
Or a Ken. Yeah,
Ken would be the best option.
Excellent Echo Fighter.
So there's so many different options for what it could be. Again,
we're looking.
We're just looking at the Amiibo.
Jason has all his Amiibo up there. Gives us some idea of what might be a logical Echo Fighter.
I mean, I guess with Bayonetta.
Oh, come on! There's probably going to be a Funky Kong for Donkey Kong.
Yeah, that would make sense. And Bayonetta has. Oh my God! Did you play Bayonetta? Jean. Yeah, or Jean.
Oh yeah, I don't know. I actually didn't play that game.
It's a great game. That would be a good option too. So I think there's lots of options for different Echo Fighters. Good question. Whoever asked it. On to the next one. What characters? Okay, we already answered that one. We already answered that one. What do you think they completely changed? Why do you think they completely changed the looks of the Mii Fighter? They don't look as much default as usual. They're taller.
Yeah, they made them tall, so they changed the proportions, which I love. I actually increased the height of both TJ and Dark TJ when I saw how they were in proportion to the other Smash Fighters, because I felt like they shouldn't be shorter than like Mario and Peach, but because I had no frame of reference from the Mii creation, the Mii Maker, into Smash, I kind of had to do a little bit of back and forth until I felt like the proportions were right. And I still don't love them because they have these really big heads compared to their bodies. I really am digging the new designs because, as you said, they do seem a little bit less generic, but also highly customizable.
They look like more of a fighter than they did before. They are on par with the other humanoid characters in the game that aren't like kids.
I cannot wait to see the different ways that we can refine their appearance and also their movesets. That's what I'm most excited about. I'm probably the only person who feels this way, but I'm more excited about the Mii Fighters than any other part of the game.
I'm excited too. I'm really curious to see if our designs are going to like carry over. Do you think like the levels are going to carry over from Wii U, like level 50? Or do you think they're going to completely scrap
yeah,
it?
they said they would. So
Okay,
all
nice.
of the progress that you've made on your Amiibo is confirmed to transfer over into the new game. That's awesome to me. So if you've like fallen in love with an Amiibo that you've poured your heart into soul into training, like I did with me, Hero TJ and Dark TJ, I get to keep them in that new game. But it'll be interesting to see what physical alterations they'll take on. Because obviously, it was built in the Wii U Mii Maker, and then I customized it in Smash for Wii U.
Yeah.
Switch treats Mii's a little bit differently, but yet I was able to input my Mii's from those very same Amiibo. And then how that's going to transfer to Smash. Nintendo's really had to do a lot more thinking about the Mii Fighter than probably any other character, because it needs to be compatible in such a multitude of different ways.
Somebody asked, would you like to see... Wait, where is it? Will there be an option where you can record your Mii's voice? I'm going to say right off the bat, no, because you have to understand what people are going to do. There's a reason why the Mii Fighters are not playable online in Smash Brothers on Wii U. They're trying to get it to work on Smash Brothers Switch, but the reason why is the first thing people do is Hitler.
Dirty designs with the faces. There are some very talented and creative artists out there. You can spell profane words with the facial tools. You can make profane images.
Very profane images.
And you can make things that would be, or you can make people depicted in a way that could be perceived as insensitive or inappropriate. So unfortunately,
if you add audio to that, that just makes it 10 times worse.
The sad truth is you can't trust people to use a tool in the appropriate way.
Mario Maker had the option to record your own audio, which was really neat. You could not put it online. However, you could...
much the same reason.
And the first thing I did when I could is I cursed right into the microphone because I thought it was hilarious.
And a lot of people...
And lots of people are immature like me.
So if you got a 30-year-old kid doing it, imagine what an actual kid would do.
Exactly.
But what they did say was that there's some Mii Fighter voice customizable options, and I'm not sure what that means. Maybe it's grunts.
Yeah, it's got to be grunts. I hope they don't add I think if they added like voices, it would destroy the allure and like the what's the word I'm looking for? Like the fantasy of your own Amiibo being there.
Suspension of disbelief. Yeah, one thing that anyone who's watched Mii v Me knows is I add the ADR for the fighting, and one of the reasons why I'm able to do that is because the Mii's don't produce any actual vocal sounds, but I love the sound design of the Mii's. You almost don't even notice that they don't have voices, whereas a lot of the other fighters in Smash do.
Yeah.
They don't say much, but they say like ha, huh, ja, or whatever the case is.
Yeah.
Some of them even do say some words. Falcon punch, show me your boobs, and so. So with the Mii Fighters,
and there's our demonetized little banner right
the
up
more
there.
specific they make them, the less customizable they actually are. So by limiting the options in some ways, they actually expand the sense of illusion. So I don't really think that having voices would be that helpful. But then again, they did it in Miitomo.
Yeah,
so
they did.
Maybe they'll let you kind of choose the pitch.
That was creepy. That was so creepy.
It was kind of fun.
Let's do a couple more. I need to answer this one. Do you guys think there's going to be a Subspace-esque story mode? My gut is telling me no. My heart is telling me yes. I would love there to be another Subspace. It was one of my favorite pieces from Smash Brothers Melee. Brawl, excuse me.
Yes.
And even what's going on screen, is it going on right now? The Ridley trailer
so good.
Got me so excited for a Subspace story arc.
It was so good.
Going to find these characters. I would love it, but they did announce that these characters are going to be really easy to unlock this time around. I don't think we're going to get anything as crazy as that.
I have to say, I love that they're stripping the roster down to the 12 original fighters, or maybe even the 8 original fighters, and then you have to very quickly unlock them as you go. And I believe that Sakurai is right in that by allowing people to unlock the characters, it gives you more of a personal attachment to them, but yet if you make it too difficult, it will make people bored or frustrate them.
Yeah.
So by creating a lot of different avenues to unlock them and have them unlock relatively quickly, you're kind of combining the best of both worlds. I don't think we're going to see Subspace Emissary because that's a very specific story. But I do think we're going to see single-player mode. And I think it will be something that is
I hope it's better than the last one.
Equivalent or similar to Subspace Emissary.
The single player on the Wii U and 3DS version was just something to be desired.
There was no single player. They didn't really have a campaign mode.
They had that board game thing.
Yeah, Smash Tour. which was not.
It wasn't fun at all.
Single player.
In any way, shape, or form. I played through it, just I felt like out of pure necessity. But overall, it was a disappointment. So I would like to see them do something different with it. But you have to remember the turnaround time on this game. And the idea that they're getting all of these fighters like ready to go. Yeah. I think that it's going to be more focused on the competitive aspect of it and less focused on single player. But who knows? They've surprised me so much in the past. So this could be completely
illusion
different.
Of the fact that the main focus is putting all of these fighters in the game. So they're saying don't expect a lot of new fighters. Don't expect a lot of new modes. That doesn't surprise me because a lot of the modes that we had in the previous installments were ones that really weren't received that well. They were there, but people didn't really play all of them. So you bring back the ones that are popular, you bring back the ones that people like, and you introduce a few new ones that are better implemented. I know Target Smash is something people missed in the way that it was.
Oh, that was always a blast.
People didn't like, but I do think we're going to see some type of campaign mode.
I hope so. I hope you're right. I really do. I might just be pessimistic here.
I think it'll be small, and I certainly wouldn't imagine it to be much bigger than Subspace Emissary, but I do believe we're going to see something like that.
Yeah. Let's do one more question before we end this for the night. Almost another hour and a half today. Yeah. I think we're usually right around the hour and a half mark, even though we had the technical difficulties at the very beginning.
We recovered. We bounced back quick.
It is what it is. Let's do the one from Ian Michael Sudholtz. I don't know if you guys already answered this, but how many fighters do you think are going to be in the game? So right now we're up to what, 64?
75.
Is it 75?
No.
Or is that your guess?
That's my guess.
I think the launch roster is what it is right now. I honest to God,
I think one
we're
more.
Done. You think so?
Yeah.
Well, there's rumors there's going to be one more only because of like the character number. Somebody like did some sort of like hunting.
Right.
I can't remember what it was specifically.
It's too long. Like if the game was releasing in September, which a lot of people speculated because of the online, it was hard for people to imagine how Nintendo was going to launch this new online thing in September without any real incentive to do it. I still don't know how they're going to do it. They've got to have some trick up their sleeve. But when Smash comes out, since it is December, they have such a long promotional period. They've got to have at least one big boom. Yeah, there's got to be something.
Bring back
Smash Ballot, there's not quite enough time.
Yeah, there might be. I mean, I don't think it has to be for launch at all. I think that
we'll see it again.
DLC is going to be coming out for the next 2 years.
Yes,
they're going to be slowly trickling this stuff out. I think it's going to be a new fighter every 3 to 4 months.
Maybe even
1 or 2. So
or maybe like 2 every 6, something like that. That's what they did with. They dropped Lucas and. I don't remember the order of them, but we had.
It was Lucas and
Mewtwo and Lucas.
Yeah, Mewtwo, Lucas, Roy
and Ryu,
and then we have to look at the amiibos up top.
Yeah, and then
Cloud, Corn, Bayonetta.
So for them to do something similar to that, where you add another 5 or 6 characters post game, I fully expect that will happen.
There's going to be a season pass. I'm promising you right now. There's going to be a season pass.
That seems to be the model that they're doing with the Wii U. That's what they did with Breath of the Wild, where they said, hey, we're going to be dropping 2 big downloads. You can only buy these as one solid set. And I bought it twice. Yeah. I bought Breath of the Wild as a day one when I purchased this Switch yesterday, and I already played it for 1,000 hours on the Wii U, and I did it with a smile on my face.
Yeah. Are you going to do it again?
I did. I bought it.
Are you going to play it again?
Probably. So I think when all is said and done, I'm going to put that number at 75. That's my modest prediction.
I think at launch, you might be right. One more. Besides that, they're going to announce a season pass. They're going to call it the Smash Pass. Watch that happen. Or not happen, because I have a terrible track record. And they're going to have, on top of what's at launch, my guess is a bare minimum of 10 new fighters. I would guess and more than likely, we're going to see more than one season pass. I think that for every season pass we have, you get 5 fighters for $20. 5 fighters, 5 stages, maybe some Mii fighter costumes.
Because we got 65 now.
Yeah.
And so you think 2 passes?
2 or 3.
What's your total number?
80? I think by the end of it, depending on how well it sells, that we could see it up to 80.
I would not be surprised by that. I think adding another 15 characters, if we imagine that the lifespan of this game is going to be for another 5 or 6 years, you have to remember that the Wii U had the shortest life cycle of any console of the past 15 years. And so that kind of truncated period of time, when we apply that to where the Switch, their plan is with the Switch, where it's going to be, they're committing it for the next 10 years. If it's really their system for the next 10 years, we're not going to get another Smash for at least 7.
It's going to be a while.
So why would we need another Smash if they're continuing to support this one? I hope that's the way they do it.
My theory on this is going to be, and again, if they do several season passes, it's going to be 3 Echo Fighters per pass and maybe 1 or 2 original fighters they have to go through. Oh, yeah,
they can Echo Fighter for days.
So you could have... let's see, Shadow the Hedgehog people wanted. You were mentioning Ken. There's so many different options for it. So we're going to see Echo Fighters happening pretty frequently, and then maybe 1 or 2 original fighters.
You
and
could
I think that's going to have
totally Echo Fighter some ARMS characters. Like
yeah, for sure.
Like you put in, if you do make Springman your base guy, you can easily Echo Fighter in Ribbon Girl, which I would rather that. I would actually rather have 2 of them represent different slots and have slightly different balancing that more reflects how they move in the game. And since they're built off the same base model, which most of the characters in ARMS operate based on the same basic premise.
Yeah.
You could easily do that and then just give them more specificity with their special moves and maybe their floatiness and stuff like that. So I like that.
Yeah. Only time is going to tell on this, guys. Honestly, thank you for tuning into this episode.
You guys are the best.
We'd like to do another one of these at some point soon. It's not going to be a weekly thing for this. He has to drive pretty far to get here because his internet is garbage.
It took me like 3 days to drive here.
It was
I'm
crazy.
just kidding.
If you guys want to see more of this, let us know. If you guys like the series that we're doing so far, again, let us know. We need that feedback to continue going forward with this.
Because it's fun for us to do, but we also enjoy engaging with you, so it's helpful for us to know what you like to see from us, and that way we'll meet in the middle.
If you're on Twitter, you can follow TJ where?
You can find me at Custom Conquest, which is where I do most of my normal me stuff. If you're into following my me personas, you can find Hero TJ at me Hero TJ and Dark TJ at me Dark TJ.
People are going to be very happy you did that because they were asking the whole stream for that to happen. If you want to find me on Twitter, I'm at Amiibo Jason. That's my personal account. I'm posting there more frequently now. I'd love to interact with you guys. I talk a lot about Pokemon Go because I'm kind of into that right now. Yeah. Obviously Smash. I'm a massive Nintendo collector. So anytime I get a new piece for my collection, I generally put it there. I'm going thrifting tomorrow morning.
Ooh.
Happily Candy's coming with me. I can't wait to drag her out there.
Find me some cool stuff.
I always like to find retro video game goodies, so chances are, if you're following me on Twitter at Amiibo Jason, you're going to see whatever I find, or you're going to see a sad face of me not finding anything, because 9 times out of 10, that's what happens now.
But there's always that one gem, that little diamond in the rough.
That's true. You can find our personal Twitter account, or not our personal, our company Twitter account at Ninwire. That's at N-I-N Wire. We're at Amiibo News as well, which is great, because Amiibo News is actually starting back up in full force again, which is exciting. It's not just retweets from Nintendo Wire anymore, which makes me really excited. If you're looking for video game deals, we have at Wire Deals. That's video games across the board, geeky stuff, nerdy stuff. We are there as well. And of course, NintendoWire.com is our website. We have some amazing people in our chat tonight from NintendoWire.com. Happily Candid, I want to thank her for modding the chat and coming in, taunting me with a brownie that I didn't get to eat. Ricky Berg was in chat at one point during this stream too. I'm not sure if he's still here, but thank you, Ricky Berg, for everything you do.
Ricky!
And obviously, everybody that came and watched this episode, we're incredibly excited to have you here. I am going to be dicing this show up into small pieces and releasing it onto our YouTube channel throughout the week, so stay tuned for that. If you're looking for just our Amiibo conversation or Echo Fighter conversation, there's going to be like 3 or 4 videos this hour and a half is going to be broken into. We're going to start trying to do that kind of on a consistent basis. And the last announcement for the day is, on top of the wiretap, I'm happy to announce that starting next week, the Nintendo Newscast is returning on a weekly basis with a new guest every single week. You're driving every week over here.
Amazing!
So we are coming back with a brand new episode every week. It's going to be sliced and diced on YouTube as well, but we're also going to have a live show too for you guys to enjoy. Something I've wanted to do for a while, but I've been incredibly backed up with my work schedule. But it's something that I think that we need to start doing now that we have Smash on the horizon. and so much amazing Switch stuff's coming out. So again, thank you for watching. Anything you want to leave on?
My buddy, the Rockhawk64, asked if Me v Me Ultimate Edition will come out when Smash Switch comes out.
It better.
Based on the current release schedule, it's likely that Me v Me Season 3, which is happening right now, and if you haven't seen it, you should go check it out. It's right here on the Nintendo Wire YouTube channel. It should butt us right up against when Smash Switch Ultimate comes out. I keep calling it Smash Switch Ultimate, but Smash Brothers Ultimate comes out. So we'll see. I would be excited to do it, but the best way for me to do that would be for more people to enjoy the show. So if it's something that you like, share the show with your friends, watch it here, and stay tuned for the finale of Smash. What's my other
Smash
show?
Supremacy.
Smash Supremacy. There's one more episode to go to determine who the ultimate amiibo is for Smash Brothers Wii U. I'm really excited. It's been 3 years in the making, and I hope you're excited too.
The amount of time and effort that goes into all of his shows, and even some of the shows that I do, it's a lot. It really, really is. So if you guys want to help support us, it doesn't even have to be monetarily. All you have to do is either subscribe if you're not subscribed already, like this video, and share it with your friends on Twitter, on Facebook. Let people know. I see the amazing things you do on a weekly basis, and it deserves more views than it gets.
You're too kind.
Let me tell you. But we did pass 50,000 subs. I'm incredibly excited. 100,000 by the end of the year. Let's make it happen.
Let's make it happen.
All right, guys. We'll see you next time.
Thanks for playing.
Bye. Is either subscribe if you're not subscribed already, like this video, and share it with your friends on Twitter, on Facebook. Let people know. I see the amazing things you do on a weekly basis, and it deserves more views than it gets.
You're too kind.
Let me tell you. But we did pass 50,000 subs. I'm incredibly excited. 100,000 by the end of the year. Let's make